Hi, sir. Now onwards, there is only 24 days for the exam. I want to
Exactly.
maximize my score for the prelims.
Okay.
So, what should I do now?
Exactly. Yes, dear friends, exactly. Yes, we are very close to prelims 2025. Exactly 24 days left for this exam. Yes, we have to maximize our score in prelims, both papers. So this is a ScoreMax series, to maximize your score in prelims paper 1 and paper 2 everyday series. So stay tuned, watch these videos. Definitely, these series will help you to fetch good score in both GS and your CSAT papers. Don't miss it. Okay, let us start. And today we will be having a comparison. Comparison means, lots of questions UPSC asks, especially history. You see, Indus versus Vedic, Buddhism versus Jainism, Rigveda versus, Sangam literature, or Mauryan economy versus Gupta economy. Okay, so this is the way they ask Gandhara versus Madura. So this is the way this comparison type of questions UPSC every year, they ask a lot of questions based on this concept. So in this video, we will be covering loads of comparisons in the history, especially in the ancient history. Yes, comparisons. Today, this is the world of comparisons. Warden versus Hermankind, or, Trump versus Modi. Lots of comparisons are there. So here, what I say, in UPSC also, entertains these comparisons of the past history. Okay. So there is, Indus civilization versus Vedic civilization, or literature, Sangal literature versus this, medieval literature or Vedic literature, Buddhism versus Jainism, Ashokan pillar versus this, Persian pillar. So this is the way Gandhara versus Amarawadi, or Mauryan administration versus Gupta administration. Okay, lots of such comparison based questions are there. Let's have a look into this. Yeah, first we go for Indus versus Vedic civilization. Indus civilization versus Vedic civilization. Questions are there. UPSC already asked, and there is always a chance for, getting questions from this area, because this topic is constantly in the news, due to archaeological excavations, renovations, government initiatives or schemes, due to multiple reasons. Now here, coming to Indus civilization, some core features I am sharing you. Yes, most of the informations we collect regarding Indus civilization, that is from archaeological evidences, archaeological remains. Archaeological remains, they contribute or they constitute biggest source of evidence regarding this IVC civilization. Then see, this is an urban civilization. Okay, Indus civilization, this was an urban civilization. Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Lothal, you see that Chahudaro, all these were industrial cities, urban cities, large scale population were living in these urban areas. Okay, then see, there were icon worshippers, like priest king statues, their mother goddess statues, there. So there are icon worshippers, and there is no use of iron. This is a Bronze Age civilization. This is a bronze, statue of dancing girl. Okay, so this was a Bronze Age civilization, and see here there is no discovery of cow. That doesn't mean that the cow was not there, but this civilization is not a, cow centric civilization. But the Rigveda, that they have given so much importance to this cow, and also it was a horse centric civilization. 15 times this name of, or maybe this animal horse is mentioned in Rigveda. Okay, but here no such evidences. This cow is mostly missing from their artistic work, artworks like seals and all. Then see, they know the art of writing, best of it in script, Boast of it and script using symbols and signs, they know the art of writing. It is not deciphered. And this civilization gives importance to women also. That means it was a, a civilization which gives importance to that, male female equality, or let us say that women, respected in the society, and they spoke a language, but that language is unknown to us. We don't know what kind of language they spoke. Okay, still these, scientific studies are going on. These are informations about Indus civilization. But coming to this Vedic civilization, let us say that most of the informations we collect from Vedic literature. Okay, Vedic literature. Okay, like Rigveda Samhita, Samaveda Samhita, Yajurveda Samhita, Atharvaveda Samhita. You see later, Vedic literatures of LBC. So collection of information mostly from this Vedic literature. Initially oral traditions, later on written traditions. Then see, it was rural in character. Rigvedic age, these Aryans migrated, and initially they settled in the areas of Indus civilization, and their settlement was rural in character. It was pastoral economy, it was rural village life, They were nature worshippers. RVC people, Rigvedic people were, yes, nature worshippers. They were personified natural phenomenon and they worshipped them, okay? And iron discovery, that was in LVC. Okay, coming to LVC, 1500, sorry, 1000 BC to 600 or 500 BC, that age, iron made its appearance in the Gangetic basins. So, yes, iron phase, that is the LVC phase, not the RVC phase. And here, both the cow and horse, they are very important for them. Okay, in the LVC stages, there is references to this, horse sacrifices also. Ashwamedha, you see, sacrifices also. So, both the horse and cow are very important for them. It was a pastoral economy. Okay, people lead a pastoral life, and they were illiterate. We don't know. We don't have any information whether they know the art of writing during RVC, because this Vedic knowledge, it was orally transmitted, and there is no idea regarding their, art of writing. Then you must understand that regarding the status of the women during this Rigvedic age, yes, women enjoyed a good status, or maybe comparatively good status comparing with LBC. Yes, she attended these tribal assemblies, or women composers are there. Then there is no restrictions over widow remarriage, women education, all is, fine. But coming to LVC, later Vedic age, the status of women changed. Okay. Then see, they spoke a language which is Sanskrit, or it is Indo-European language. So let's see that this is comparison between Indus Valley civilization and this Vedic civilization or Vedic age. Okay. And this much information is sufficient to answer lots of questions, previously asked in the prelims examination. Have a look into this. Have a look into this. Yes, consider following statements with reference to Rigvedic society. Household was clearly patriarchal and patrilineal. This is about this Rigvedic society. Yes, the household was patriarchal, just like Roman society. It was patriarchal and patrilineal. Women performed sacrifices in their own right. This is wrong. Not in their own right. Not in their own right, along with their husband, along with in husband, in chorus, they performed these sacrifices. I mean, not they, presided the sacrifices. Yes, they attended the sacrificial ceremonies. Okay, and along with their husbands. Okay, then see, there is absolutely no reference to women sages in Rigveda. But you must understand that the basic common sense is that yes, there is Loba Mudra Garhi. You see that the women enjoyed a good status in RVC comparing with the LVC. Women composers were there, women educators were there, okay, women rishis were there. So the fact is that yes, we have different informations, different hymns, which indicate that yes, women, yes, women sages or women rishis or women writers were there. So when we say that there is absolutely no reference, it is an extreme statement, so I eliminate that one. Okay, I will go for only one. See, there is another comparison which is, RVC versus LVC. We have seen Indus civilization versus Vedic civilization. Now this is RVC versus LVC. RVC means you must understand Rigvedic age. LVC is, later Vedic age. RVC is from 1500 BC to 1000 BC. LVC is from 1000 BC to 600 BC. 1000 BC to 600 BC. Now, during RVC, yes, Aryans, yes, there are different theories regarding this arrival of Aryans or settlement of Aryans. One of the theories says, yeah, they are from Central Asia and they crossed this Hindu Kush, Indus, and they settled in the area where Indus people settled once in the past. Okay, so yes, during RVC they settled in the Sapta Sindhu region, and that means in an area where this Indus and its tributary is located. Okay, so that is in the Sapta Sindhu region, and you see that yeah, tribal assemblies. Yes, tribal assemblies were very popular. So they were pastoral economy, there were rural cultures, and see, people engaged in this cattle bearing, cattle raiding, etc. And agriculture, it is not, stable agriculture, settled agriculture. They are moving from one place to another place. So during short time, they also practiced agriculture. That was not the mainstay. And they had a tribal assemblies. I mean, the king was, monarchy concept was not there, or state concept was not there. Tribe was most important identity. Tribal assemblies existed. Sabha, Vidada, Samadhi, Gana. These are assemblies where, even women also participated. Okay, tribal assemblies were powerful. Then see, no formal taxation. Voluntary offerings were the main source of income. Then semi-nomadic life and pastoralism was occupation. Chief god was Indra. These are some informations regarding this, is Rigvedic society, Rigvedic economy, Rigvedic polity. Coming to LVC, yes, there is a shift from this, what is called the Indus basins, or maybe from the Saptasindhu regions, they shifted to Gangetic basins. Then you see that, yes, there practiced formal taxation. Okay. Then you see that agriculture become the main occupation now. The medium of exchange, you see Nishka, Krishnala, Shadamana, etc. made its appearance, and chief god become Prajapati. Okay, so these changes are happening. Even women also lost important in the political bodies like Sabha, Vidada kind of assemblies. Yes, tribal assemblies replaced with king and his bureaucracy. So these are changes which happened in the LVC time. So this kind of comparisons are very much important. Even they asked in the mains part also. This question was, previously asked in the mains. There is a question, rhinoceros, tiger were not known to Rigvedic people. Then see, Rigvedic culture is horse-centered. Horse sacrifice was typical tradition of later Vedic kings. So you must understand that, yes, in the later Vedic time, king assumed more power by performing royal sacrifices like Vajrapeya, Ashwamedha, Rajasuya, etc. So here, first statement, rhinoceros, tiger were not known to these Rigvedic people. Actually, in Indus seals or Indus artworks, there is good references to these, animals like elephant, tiger, etc. But coming to Rigvedic hymns, early Vedic hymns, you could see that there is no such references to this, yes, this rhinoceros, tigers, etc. So that sense, whether these people know tiger, rhinoceros, we have no information. Rigvedic culture is horse-centered. That is 100% correct, because 215 times this animal is mentioned in Rigveda. Okay, it was a horse-centered. They are horse-riding people, warrior class. Okay, horse sacrifice was typical tradition of later Vedic kings. Exactly, there is in the Samhitas you can see, especially in the 10th chapter, there is mentions to this Ashwamedha. There is horse sacrifices. So you see that the 10th chapter was later added to this Rigveda. So that sense we shall say that this is typical tradition of later Vedic kings, and that is the way by performing royal sacrifices the kings establish their sovereignty over the people or enhanced their power over the people and state. So in that sense, I will go for only two. Am I right? Sorry. Yeah, all the three is fine here. First one is okay. Yes, Rigvedic culture is horse-centered. That is fine. Yeah, horse sacrifice was typical tradition of later Vedic. So all is fine. I will go for all the three. Okay, fine. Yes, so there are no references to these animals like tigers or rhinoceros in the Rig Veda, but in the later Vedic literatures there is references to this tiger and rhinoceros. So that way, first is okay, second is okay, and third is also okay. I will go for all the three. Now again, there is a comparison between this Rigvedic literature and this Sangam literature, Rigvedic literature and the Sangam literature. Okay, so what that kind of comparisons based questions are also asked by UPSC. See, regarding the theme, Rigvedic literature, its a theme or the focus area is religious rituals and hymns. See, the hymns are in praise of various gods or goddesses, etc. So they are mostly religious in nature, worship in nature. Okay, coming to Sangam literature, yeah, themes are secular, centered around love, war, social life, etc. Okay, bravery and all those things. Then see, language is Rigvedic literature, language is Vedic Sanskrit. Sangam literature, language is Tamil. Yes, location, Rigveda or Rigvedic literature talks about the life of Aryans in this North India, and Sangha literature centered in South India. This is the earliest literary sources of this, South or Sangam age. Then see, content is hymns, rituals, prayers to deities. Here, Sangha literature content is love poems, heroic narratives, social life. Here, this time age is, this Rigveda, Rigvedic time age, that is 1500 BC to 1000 BC. Later Vedic is 1000 BC to 500 BC. Coming to Sangam, it is 3rd BC to 3rd AD. Okay, 3rd BC to 3rd AD, 300 BC to 300 AD. Okay, so these understandings must be very clear to you. Similar way, there is another potential topic for UPSC, which is Comparison between Buddhism, Jainism. Just look into this. There are lots of similarities between Buddhism, Jainism. Yes, when I go for yes Buddha or Mahavira, see both used the language of the commoners. Mahavira used Prakrit, Buddha used Pali language. Okay, both emphasized ahimsa or non-violence idea. Ahimsa or non-violence. Yes, deliverance from eternal chain of birth and death. The central philosophy almost looks similar. Denied the authenticity of Vedas. Both rejected the idea that Vedas are infallible or Vedas are ultimate authority of knowledge. That is rejected. Vedic authority is rejected. Both opposed to ritualism and the sacrifices of Brahmanism. Yes, both laid great stress upon pure and moral life rather than practice of ritualism. These are similarities of Buddhism, Jainism. Both are inspired by ascetic ideals and philosophy of Upanishads. Both of these religions, I mean Buddhism, Jainism, the doctrines, ideologies, or their major ideas are inspired from ascetic ideals and Upanishadic thoughts. Both are products of intellectual, spiritual, social forces of the age. Yes, common place of origin. Both are, having this common place of this origin. Both leaders are from Kshatriya caste. Both appealed to the socially downtrodden people, and they did not attack the caste, but they opposed to this caste system. At the same time, they have differences also. Yes, Mahavira is the founder. Sorry, Mahavira is the reformer. Rishabdev was the founder of Jainism. Mahavira was the reformer. He was the 24th Tirthankara, but Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. Okay, so one is reformer, one is founder, and both are having different opinions regarding the concept of soul. Jainism, Mahavira believes soul is immortal. Soul is immortal, no death to soul, and soul is, that transmigrate. Okay, so soul is immortal and it is not mortal. Okay, that is something the idea of this, and everything has a soul. It is immortal. But coming to Buddhism, yes, Buddha's idea is soul is not soul is just like the body, it is also mortal. Okay, no, so much significance to this soul philosophy. Concept of ahimsa, it is more extreme to Jainism, but moderate in this Buddhism. Buddhism emphasized elimination of caste distinctions. Jainism advised to practice of strict asceticism. So Mahavira says strict asceticism or strict austere life and ascetic practices for salvation. Gautam Buddha preferred middle path. Buddhism emphasized organization of sanghas or a monastic order for the propagation of Buddha's teachings, but in Jainism that is missing. Jainism, nirvana as freedom from body. Buddhism, destruction of self, detachment from worldly affairs. Buddhism proved more adaptable to circumstances. Okay, so these are the differences and similarities between Buddhism and Jainism. Now coming to these differences between Mauryan Empire and this Gupta Empire. Mauryan is highly centralized, but Gupta is less centralized. Okay, here Mauryan religion is Jainism, Buddhism, but Gupta age, Gupta rulers promoted Vaishnavism, Shaivism. Okay, here military strength, discipline consisting of chariots, cavalry, elephants, and infantry, but more innovations coming to Gupta age. Economy is agriculture. Trade was also significant, both the domestic and international trade. But coming to economy of these Guptas, more stress is on this guild or more stress is on trade. Okay. Then here the capital is Pataliputra. There also capital was Pataliputra. Yes, here it focuses on administrative efficiency, military strength, and the spread of Buddhism under Ashoka. But coming to Gupta, more importance laid on this, development of this art, literature, science, medicine. So that was a golden age in terms of this, not in terms of administration, but in terms of this, development of art, literature, language, or maybe architecture, etc. Okay. Then there is comparison between Gandhara, Madura, Amarawadi schools of sculpture. Yes, you take my word. These are important for UPSC. According to the last 25 years trend analysis, these are areas repeatedly asked on regular intervals, in regular intervals. Okay, don't miss it. Coming to this Gandhara, Madura, Amaravati, Gandhara, you must understand, 1st century AD to 7th century AD. 1st century AD to 7th century AD, that was the spread of this like a Gandhara art. Okay, then see, it developed in the western frontier of Punjab, northwest regions. Yes, it was a mixture of Greek, Roman styles and techniques and Indian theme. Okay, then see, grey sandstone is the material used here. Then see, Buddha, Bodhisattva images are produced, or Mahayana Buddhism is, promoted here. and Buddha, Bodhisattva images are produced like a Greek, Roman gods and kings. Okay. Coming to Madura, this is indigenous school of art. Initially, no foreign influences on banks of Yamuna. Yes, this is actually a secular school of art, not just Buddhism. In fact, Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism sculptures are produced here. Then Buddha is, yes, Buddha is more bubbly, more cheerful, more delighted. Initial importance not given to anatomical accuracy. Okay. Then see, there is always a halo around the Buddha that is decorated. Here it is plain halo. Then spotted red sandstone is the chief material used here. Spotted red sandstone is the chief material used here. Amarawadi, it developed on the banks of Krishna River. Shadavahanas were patrons, but for Gandhara Madura, Kushanas were chief patrons, especially Kanishka. Here Shadavahanas, okay? And it is known for narrative art, just like a storytelling, Yes, the different themes, events from these Jataka tales are, depicted on the panels, okay? So narrative art and characters are in the Tribhanga posture. White marble is the chief material used here. And see, king, princess, palace figures, many secular figures are, sculpted here. So these are the three different schools of sculpture, which is again very important for you, both prelims and mains. And this series will continue. This series will continue. Stay tuned and watch every video of this. And from ancient, medieval, modern art and culture, definitely you will get a lot of questions, lot of topics covered quickly, and you will learn good marks in your upcoming, exam. Not only history, other subjects also would be covered in this series. All the best. Thank you.
Gallant IAS, chasing your passion to ace.